And all greetings, this is Gilles Mancien. I wanted to come and say hello. I wanted to reinforce this idea about this preparation for the winter solstice, also with summer solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere. For now we are in this portal between the 12/12 and 21/12. And there is certain thing. It is a time that is given to look at this past year, to understand those things that happen in this 2018, and what do we want in 2019? We want it to. It's going to be different in any event, but we do not want to carry the old luggage. There are certain things we want to get rid of. So the idea is to do that now, to ask for the courage to draw on the strength and the courage to do those things now. It's going to be difficult, but if we manage to do that, on the 21st we can do a ceremony. It could be with many people, it could be with pets, it could be with plants. You could call on your guides, the archangels, the masters, call on your creator. So you make this ceremony. And you ask clearly all those. You ask the universe to liberate you from all this old cycle, to anchor the new, and to release the old. And it is a great celestial gateway that will open up, and so it will be very powerful. Of course, those who are not conscious will receive unconsciously, but it will be. Everything is more powerful when it's conscious than unconscious in many sense, and so. So it is important to prepare ourselves and to know that 2019, we want it to be very different, to be more prosper, to be more abundant, to be more healthy, to be more joyful. For we want this joy to return to us. For once we starting going through this dark night of the soul, we are facing our fear, we are facing our shadows. So it is not the most enjoyable. But once we have faced that, we have cleared up all those things. When we feel a pain, it is released. If we accept to feel the pain, to be uncomfortable with the uncomfortable, it goes out. It gets transmuted. It is released, and so it is important to feel those things, but then not to hold on to it, and to be prepared for something totally new. We want this joy for life to return, to be fully in the appreciation of life. So that is one of the things I really want to do. I want to have fun. I want to have joy. I want to play. I want to do those things that brings me joy. This is the only thing that's really important to me. Everything else is futile. It is just detail. Sometimes we want. Details are very, very important. Every detail is important. But when we look at the detail, we do not want to get lost in the details. As soon as the details become heavy, we want to let go of the detail and return to the greater beauty of the whole. And then from there, we'll be able to look at all those details. They won't bother us as much. But then also understand that every detail is important. Details have to be addressed, and say the devil's in the details, but paradise is also in the details. Everything we want to be detail oriented. Yet we know that we can let go and move on by breathing and releasing and trusting God, that God can do things for us. Spirit can assist us in every aspect of our life, for that is really the co-creation process, the collaborative aspect of the universe. When we are benevolent, we're working with the universe. When we are malevolent, we're working against the universe, against life, against God. And for whatever sometimes we can realize that we haven't been very kind with certain aspect of life. So do not judge yourself. I want you to promise me something, that from now on, you stop judging yourself. You stop being hard on yourself. Sometimes there is certain needs that we need to discipline ourselves. So that's not what I'm talking about. It's to move into the self-judgment. It is very important to correct whatever we need to correct, but to be the best, to be your coach, to be your parent, your own parent, to be your own brother, to sister, to be your best friend, and to always look at your small self, the ones that is moving here in this physical body, with compassion. That we were created without memory. We're not created. We have all the memory, but when we came down, we forgot our memory, and so we do not know who we are, and so it's part of the process to be ignored here. And so but the light reveals itself as we tune into this inner presence, this inner guides. We all have this inner guide, and we want to submit to the higher wisdom, to the higher love, to the unconditional love of the source that is guiding us. For there is always more to be discovered. The highest wisdom for us today is completion. We want to complete the cycle to move on to the next cycle. What we need to do is the effort. to understand. We need to understand the effort, what kind of effort. We need to apply certain efforts. Things do not, sometimes we can just flow, but sometimes we have to apply a certain effort to be, in order to shift the process. What we need to do is responsibility. We need to assume the responsibility of our life purpose, of our life mission here, and to assume that. And the general message will be partnership, association with the universe, with God. For God is your greatest ally. There is no more. And your guides, the guides are always there. The divine beings, very powerful beings that have chosen to serve you for all your incarnation. Every incarnation we get new guides. Every incarnation we get a new I am presence. But if you're at the time of the ascension, we have received very experimented I am presence that essentially that the outcome will be the fusion of the I am presence and the soul. The soul is a divine being. It is who we are in truth, and the I am presence is a paradise spirit that is it's a gift from paradise, from the Father, and eventually we want to fuse those consciousness for the I am presence and the soul have the same agenda, which is to bring us back to love and light. And I want also to understand that we need to respect the vision. When we get a vision or we get inspiration or we get dreams, to listen, to pay attention to what those visions are telling us, for we do not understand. Sometimes it is a test of the future, or it can be a memory from the past. Sometimes we cannot place it in time and space, but it doesn't matter. Receive it with gratitude. And if you don't know, just ask Spirit. It's okay to ask anything. And when you're ready to receive an answer, the answer comes. It's always when we're in a state of receptivity. Sometimes we ask questions and we're expecting a certain answer, but the answer that will come is not what we're expecting. So if we say, I'm asking that, but I want you to respond in this way, and the universe will not respond. The universe will tell you what is the truth in the situation. And So yeah, it's important to work on our benevolence whenever we catch ourselves, not to judge ourselves from not being kind in any situation, but the simple fact that we realize that we've been unkind allows us to adjust, to not to blame ourselves for not being kind, but to learn from the lesson, and the next time we encounter the same situation, it gets easier. To use a personal example, sometimes I've been habited for many years to travel in the higher planes, in the realm of vision, and sometimes it's a beautiful vision, and then I am present send me an image of a person or a situation that's extremely unpleasant in relationship to my past. And in the past, I used to get really hungry, really like I'm really pissed off. It's like I break my vision, but in essence, it is just it comes in to see how you're going to deal with it. So you want to appease it, you want to relax, don't take things seriously. Just know that those things are coming to be aligned, to be balanced, to be brought into harmony. And so I'm going to pull a few cards from the Akash. Behind me is a painting that I can lower it down a little bit. You can see the top of the painting. It is a painting that's part of it's actually two paintings. The first, it started as a pair. The first one I showed yesterday, it is about the 7 chakras. It is the microcosm. It is the alignment of for the light body, and this is the macrocosm. For once we open our light body, we open to our universal self, and there are all those spheres that we'll be able to navigate all the way to the omnigalactic source. And so those paintings are kind of interesting. Those two here are a bit sketchy, but they work kind of well together. Although I could reinforce all the black here to make it really opaque. But in many sense, the painting works as it is. So sometimes I have to give myself the time to see if anything's needed. But this one's signed 2015, and so I don't see the need to go back to it. So do not forget to absolve yourself, to forgive yourself for any mistakes you have done, because there are day ins and day outs. the good days are easy to deal with, but then we all have days that are more difficult than others. We can, it is part of the process. We need to have those in order to build a character, build stamina. The idea is to make negative thoughts, energy, moment, to take it with philosophy. Philosophy is the essentially how to resolve problem. It's given to resolve problem. Even on Paradise, there are millions of mysteries. Even if for the Paradise citizens or even those who are sent to Paradise, there will remain thousands of mysteries that will require philosophy. So philosophy is something we'll continue to need throughout our eternal existence, but is to make the negative things small, and whenever there is a receptivity of a good energy, to be in gratitude and to try to milk it, to utilize more those times and energy, to live in the moment. To sometimes we want to let go of the future and let go of the past, to be in the moment, to be serene in the moment, and to make peace. That's a state of peace. Where we of course desires may come back, but you can watch them without having to have them fulfill. Once you're in the total acceptation and gratitude, those desires become fulfilled. God will find a way to fulfill you. The highest wisdom is trust and faith. Trust and faith for letting go of doubts, in a sense, and the more trust we can give, the more trust the faster we go. And the trust and faith are very, very powerful. So I may have to go into the media to promote my book, which is about the multidimensional nature of ourselves. And but in many sense, in France, I know that the majority of people are atheists, so I'm going to have to use philosophy rather than spirituality sometimes in order to make them understand things. So one of the things I want to do this year is to publish this book. The French version is finished, the English version is not, but I still put a very rough version. It's called Beyond the Veils of Illusion I Am in my playlist. It gives it's still of course, the English version is the translation needs to be refined, but it will come this year. I do intend to publish it and translate it in many languages, because this information is universal and everybody needs to understand the principle and to reveal that inner self, to understand God, to be closer to God. This is my mission, is to reveal certain aspect of the divine, so that we can feel closer to God, and from there anything can happen. For we all have this divine, eternal, and personal connection to our Creator, which is very different. Everybody's got a different connection, but it is only one. So it is the subtlety of the quantum field. It's like there is opposing reality that are existing in time and space, that are opposing, but they're both true. What we need to understand is the tree is growing. We are growing, and so to accept the growth, to move in with the growth, and it is a very slow growth. A tree doesn't like just jump into something. It's very slow. Things happen naturally when it is the time. Like those flowers are blooming. It's like because they're happy. They didn't bloom for like years and years and years, and now every time the flowers died, poof, there is new flowers. So I regroup them. All the orchids, they live together and they're very happy together. Before they were separated, they were like not so happy. For we are creatures that were created for to be social. We are not solitary messenger, which is the highest personality of the infinite spirit, those beings that are solitary messenger. We are not solitary messenger. We need each other, we need relationship, we need love, we need romance, we need complementarity. What we need to do is to live our traveling. So it is all ready for me. I'm getting ready. I am ready to move on to the next step. And so you trust that whatever could prevent you from moving forward, trust the universe will provide the condition that will make it enjoyable and easy for this to happen. And the outcome is the community life. For we are one human community here on this planet. We do not know that yet, no matter what our race, our religion, our background, our social status, our culture. We in a sense, we are all part of this great big family of God. And so it is about understanding that all culture are complementing each other. It is an important, to see things through the eyes of love and inclusion. So let us see. I wanted to say that also 90% of the problems of the world will be soon resolved, because it's always the same. It's a certain group, certain families, certain organizations that are below the radars, so they are protected for now, but they are the cause of 90% of the problems of the world. They're always the ones that we don't know why they're doing that. And from a Platonician standpoint, I'm a Neoplatonician. I believe in the philosophy of Plato, the Republic. I'm a Republican. Neoplatonician, but in many sense, Socrates and Plato explain to us, demonstrate that if somebody is like is unkind, is not because they're choosing to be unkind. It's because they haven't really reached the level where they see the value of kindness. They don't have this moral compass yet. They are lost souls, those who are creating pain in the world, and they do not see. They only serve their ego. So we do not want to blame them. We want to try to bring light into them. But there'll be a lot of transformation that we'll see this year. For many years ago, God Himself, this was an incredible vision, so I share with you. It was many years ago in my meditation, the form of God came in such a divine form that came from, not from inside, but from above, and He came down inside my body and asked me a favor to get implicated in the political situation, to assist the world with my own light and wisdom in order to try to find a solution that would work for everybody. Of course, I said yes, but I have no clue how it gets to get there, and I'm not even looking as a spiritualist. I am completely detached from all those political situations. As a philosopher, we need to provide solution, but as a spiritualist, we want to remain neutral. But since this is called from on high, I thought I would sacrifice a certain aspect of my life in order to come into that plane and try to see what we can create collectively. For the change will have to happen collectively. It is not about imposing a vision. It's not about imposing a vision. It's about seeing what to raise the quality of life of everybody, finding ways to simplify the life. And of course, there are some people that will never be satisfied. They're in such anger and frustration. No matter what we do, they won't be satisfied until they address their own inner fear, their own inner shadows. But they're refusing that, so they're projecting the problem on someone else. But we want to be able to satisfy the majority. For maybe there will be new political parties that will be created, that will be called We the People, and that will represent the silent majority. For the majority is really what we want to satisfy. We cannot satisfy everybody, but there is ways that we can put together, that we can align it so that generation on generation everything gets better and bigger and better for everybody, rather than going down into a hole. We're moving up towards the sun. And so all those ideas I'm presenting, I think, are pretty common sense, but they are not necessarily being discussed on the media. They haven't seen that light yet, but they are. So I'm going to finish this. I'm going to complete this first book and publish it, which is about the science of transdimensional sciences, on how to travel in the universe without having to create machine that we are, and so that this. And maybe open a space agency to initiate people, to show them those other planets, leaving their body in the earth and showing them how to move their consciousness to other planes of reality. For this book will come out. But then maybe write another book that will address the problem and solutions of the world. Where are the problem? It's about removing the problem. The solution will find itself once we remove the problem. If we refuse to address the problem, no matter what we try to do in finding solution, until the problem remains. Same thing with illness. If we do not look at the cause of illness, no matter how good a medicine may be, the illness will still find a way to come back until the cause is removed. So it's about looking within ourselves, using this solstice energy to free ourselves from old fear, old conditioning, old beliefs, old habits, and so that we can move into this 2019 year free and clear, into a new energy, new level of. And so the general message for us today from Rumi. Rumi is a great philosopher. a poet, philosopher from the 14th century, is a friend, who's a Muslim from Persia, but he liked wine and sex, and he was but very, very mystical, and he's a wonderful guide, and those cards are integrated from within his poems. And here today we have the Blood Angels. The Blood Angel is about transmuting within our blood, because most of the bad, all the feelings, all the memories, all the fears come from the DNA. Is going through the blood, and then, so the transmutation is happening through our blood. Our blood is like it's like we want to fill our bloodstream with love and light. Once there is only love and light, there is an acceleration of energy that will ignite this light body, and will be free beyond the material confine of the physical body. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to finish with a song. It's a song that went through my mind. I never sang it before, but so I sang it today. It's called Heart of Gold. I want to live, I want to give. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. It's these expressions I never give that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. They keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. I've been to Hollywood, I've been to Redwood. I've crossed the ocean for a heart of gold. I've been in my mind, it's such a fine line that keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. They keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. They keep me searching for a heart of gold. You keep me searching and I'm growing old. They keep me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. Beautiful song from Neil Young. Of course, as humans, we were created as eternal beings, as soul, we were created a whole. We were like neither masculine nor feminine. We may have a dominant side, but in a sense, we were whole. But in order to participate into this program, as Plato says in the Banquet, we were split into, and so by being split into, we are looking for our other side. We're like desperately looking to that complement that it's part of the biological process through sexuality that we are able to reproduce ourselves. It's part of the divine plan. There's nothing wrong about anything that is going on, really. It is all part of a process. And so in many sense, the Egyptian also taught about the Ba and the Ka. And in a sense, the true complement we're looking for can only come from above, to be complete, to be fulfilled. It's called the immortal. Once our soul and our astral body have met, have blended and find harmony, then there is an opening to this new incarnated soul, a new level of creation. This is what the Buddha explained. And but in many sense, since we were separated, we have to find within the outer world a complement that complements us. And so for that, we have made soul plans with other beings or the souls that are a deep connection that we are seeking to reconnect to our soul family, to our soulmate. And soulmates are, when we're connected to a soulmate, it is like pure joy. It is like pure ecstasy. There is nothing. In many sense, it's one of the best gifts that we can find, is to find our perfect match, our perfect complement. For sometimes we compromise and it's okay to have temporary relationship, but once we find a true soulmate, it is a lifelong relationship. There is nothing, no one else will bring us with this one, the quality of the connection that this relationship. So what we want to do is to be as free and clear, as ready as possible, to organize all the aspects of our life that are still lacking, or in pain. so that we can meet that person, because until we are in pain or in suffering, it's very unlikely we are able to find this truly abundant relationship with that divine soul that we have chosen to experience that unity with. And so for those who are looking for the soulmate, it is about doing the inner work first, and then the universe will provide that as a gift of the reward for that hard work that we have been doing. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful Sunday, for we are understand also the solstice. So just be ready for this solstice and just prepare yourself. Do things now, for there will be a great deal of transformation if we utilize this celestial doorway. We'll be able to. It will be both a release of all the old and an introduction of all the new. So do not get distracted. Know what you need, and then act upon it. Thank you very much. I wish you a marvelous day. I send you my love, light, and blessings, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.